macronutrients. Today we're going to talk about what macros are and why I don't count them. Welcome back to Lightning Health. My name is Sam Leicht and I don't count macros. Now, to some of you that's going to sound insane, but the rest of you are saying, what the f*** is a macro? So, let me back up a second. Food is made up of macronutrients. Carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Carbohydrates are found in foods like grains, dairy, vegetables, and fruit. They are going to be broken down into energy to fuel your body and brain. Sometimes they get a bad rep, but we absolutely need carbs. Not saying that we should be overloading on bread and pasta, but as surprising as it is, veggies are carbs. So they're definitely not all bad, and we definitely need them. Demonizing carbs needs to stop, but that's a bigger conversation. Okay, I'm sorry. Protein is found in most foods, but primarily animal products, and some legumes, and kind of nuts and seeds. I don't want to get into it now. But protein is super important for body development and the growth and repair of cells and muscle tissue. Fat is going to be found in oils and animal products. Biggest misconception here is that fat makes you fat, and that's just not the case. We need fat for so many bodily processes, like nervous system function, immune response, reproduction, and so much more. Now, each of these macros have their own nuances and misconceptions, and we will get way more granular in future videos, but here's a basic breakdown. All foods are made of macronutrients. Generally, we label a food by its primary macro, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't include the other two macros as well. So, for example, nuts are primarily fat. Haha, I tricked you. But they do include a little bit of protein as well, which is why people confuse nuts as protein. Here's the thing. It's become super common in the wellness field to do something called counting macros. So I think it's important for you to know what that is. Just like tracking your calories, you can track the macronutrient breakdown of the foods that you eat through an app. When you're really strict with your tracking, you can then fine-tune your diet to hit a certain ratio of macronutrients. For the general population, the USDA suggests that that ratio should be 45 to 65% carbs, 10 to 35% protein, and 20 to 35% fat. This is a fine guideline, but this ratio is going to and should vary from person to person, so take these numbers with a grain of salt. Like I said in my first nutrition video, knowledge is power. It is so important for you to know what macronutrients are and the impact that they have on your body. But I still don't have my clients track their macros, and here's why. The harder we make something, the less likely we are to stick to it. When I ask you to track every single macro that you're eating and restrict foods that don't fit your ratio, it's not a sustainable way for us to live our lives. Are you gonna ask every restaurant that you eat at what the macronutrient breakdown of their food is so that you can track it? You could probably do it for a few weeks. Some people could do it for months or years. But I'm telling you, there is a way to eat healthy and reach your goals without counting your macros every day. But here's the thing. The time to start is now. Not after 6 weeks of trying and failing to count your macros. I would be so much happier with you adding veggies and fruits and reducing processed foods instead of counting macros any day. I love knowing that there's an optimal ratio of macronutrients I'm supposed to hit throughout the day because it gives me some guidelines for planning out my meals. I know I need to get fat in, so I'll add a serving of coconut oil to my smoothie in the morning. I know I need to get protein, so I'll add chicken to my salad at lunch. I know that majority of my diet is going to be carbs, so I make sure to prioritize whole food carbs like veggies and fruits instead of ice cream and mac and cheese. Here's the kicker. I don't need to know the exact grams of fat that I'm eating throughout the day to know how to make informed decisions about food. And by taking the pressure off, I'm actually less likely to make bad decisions and binge. I'm all for learning and understanding macros. But if you're looking to create healthy habits, sustainable, long-term habits, counting them just isn't the way to go. Thank you so much for watching. If you're still feeling a little confused about macronutrients, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment, because I do have more videos about carbs, proteins, and fats coming soon, and you don't want to miss them.